It's approximately 20 after 5 in the afternoon on the eastern coast of the United States. But in my inner clock, right now is 20 after 11 in the evening, Italy time. Along with members of our parish, we had a beautiful pilgrimage journey visiting the shrines of Italy, and we arrived last night at 10:30 in the evening. We made our connection at JFK. We were cruising at 34,000 feet, and then we began that final descent and approach into JFK. Everything was wonderful, smooth flight, no incidents, no excitement, until we began to make that final approach into the runway. And then all of a sudden, I felt it deep in my gut. We're supposed to be going down. Why are we going back up again? And up we go and coast right out. And I realized something is happening. And then the pilot, very calm, soothing voice, of course, just simply said to us, we had to take another round because there's a plane that's taxiing on the runway. So we need to just get out of the way so that the plane can do its thing. I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus. And of course, what would a good priest do at a time like that? Start praying. Which I did. I did because among the many things I was thinking of, and I know that they have enough fuel in the plane, but what if that plane does not move? What if they have a mechanical problem and we keep going around? Eventually, the gas tank will go on empty. We know that because when we go on trips in our own automobiles, we fill the tank, and there comes a point when that light flashes like we're running on empty, and we better put some fuel, otherwise the car will stop and there'll be no movement. I think that the Lord is very clear in today's gospel when he tells us, I am the vine, you are the branches. The branches remain connected to the vine, they will have nourishment, they will have life. But if the branch disconnects from the vine, eventually it will die. Now, the branch may not be fully aware of the fact that it will eventually die, because it might still be blossoming some flowers and still some energy left, but eventually that energy will cease and it will wither and it will dry up and will die. So the Lord is reminding us, without him we can do nothing. With him all things are possible, and we will experience life, and life to the fullest. And that's why the readings today are so beautifully connected to the gospel that we just heard. The Acts of the Apostles in this beautiful Easter season is refreshing, it's wonderful, it's uplifting to hear the beautiful accounts that come from that time when those early Christian communities relied on each other as they faced the challenges and the obstacles of strengthening the life of the community. How wonderful it is to hear that they were brothers. They were brothers, a family, facing challenges together, overcoming obstacles together, and together spreading the good news all over Judea, Galilee, Samaria, sharing the gift of Christ's love, mercy, and peace as they strengthened the faith of those they encountered. They saw the Gentiles as brothers. Saul, who was an individual that persecuted the church, who was constantly seeking Christians to have them killed, had a moment of conversion in his own life and was also admitted as a brother, welcomed as a member of the community. Some were not too sure. Some found it a little bit difficult to accept. Some were very much afraid that he was possibly fooling everybody as a way of sneaking into the community to round up everybody and turn them in. But they were able to connect with his sincerity, and they allowed the Spirit to guide them and enlighten them as they welcomed him and embraced him and relied also on the gifts that he was bringing to the community. And that's what the Lord is asking of us as we continue to extend our love towards one another and recognize that all of us, regardless of our background, regardless of our nationality or language, or what part of Orlando we live in, we're also called to exercise that brotherly love, seeking that relationship with one another. And some might say, yeah, Father, that's easier said than done. But how can we accomplish this? How can this become a reality in our own lives? If we hear the letter from St. John today, I think that he's telling us that it's possible, because there's some tips that he's providing us with, and that is the commandment to first of all recognize that Jesus Christ is indeed the Son of God, and that we are members of his body. And because we're members of his body, we are called then to learn from him by exercising the commandment to love. Love one another as he commanded us. And in the manner in which we love one another, we remain in him and he remains in us. In short, the letter of St. John is telling us that actions speak louder than words. Actions. That desire to put into action our faith, to put into action the teachings that Christ has extended to each and every one of us. If we are true vines connected to the branch of life, Jesus Christ, we will be able to increase not only our love for him, but our love for one another. May this Easter journey continue to renew our faith in the manner in which we recognize that our tanks need to be connected to the Lord, the source of energy, so that we don't remain stranded halfway through this journey of hope and of service that he's inviting us to enter into as we share the love of Christ with one another.